Good evening. It is time for today's tax talk. It is Tuesday, today's Crypto Tuesday, October 4th, the year of our Lord 2022. And Crypto Tuesday, we've been talking a lot about the regulation coming. There's an agency out there called the FSOC, the Financial, let's get this right. Okay, let's get this. It's the Financial Stability. See, have you ever heard of it? Most people haven't. I have heard of it, but the FICE Oversight Council, the Financial Stability Oversight Council, and they've come up with some recommendations for cryptocurrency. Makes sense, right? They should be controlling our cryptocurrency. Anyway, that's what we're going to talk about today, and ask you to join us, won't you? Let's do it. The Financial Stability Oversight Council. Even the name is kind of scary. And I say danger ahead. They say that there's danger ahead with crypto, that the crypto is going to bring us all to instability and it might collapse our markets. I think that the danger ahead is this Financial Stability Oversight Council. That's just, that the Biden administration has determined that crypto is one of the ways they're going to pay for everything, and they need more regulation. And so that's what's going to happen. There's going to be a lot more regulation. So let's go to the stories. There's a couple good stories. But before we do that, we always start on Crypto Tuesday. We begin with the markets. So let us go to the markets. Okay. Here's the markets as we are at our favorite site, coinflip.tech. And here's the markets for the last 24 hours. Again, as we say almost every Tuesday, how Bitcoin and Ethereum kind of mirror each other. Very seldom do they diverge much. And same today. They're both up today slightly. And as Litecoin, don't talk too much about Litecoin because the capital on Litecoin is nowhere near what it is on these. So here's the Bitcoin for the last 7 days. Still in that very narrow trading range from 19,000 to 2,000 to 20,000. We can look at Ethereum if you'd like. Let's do that. Again, very narrow range. So that's where we are. It's they're teasing with the bottom and hoping to break through the $20,000 mark. A lot of people believe if it starts, it can stay above the 20,000. Maybe it'll start gaining again. So this is the story. It's in Barron's. The crypto crackdown is what government wants. It's going to hurt. Exactly. And this is a article I just found right before we went online. There's another article that was a little bit more optimistic and laudatory towards the council. This one I think is more what I believe. The crypto industry might have a lot of support among lawmakers, but it is facing deep skepticism amongst federal agencies that oversee it. The latter is what really matters. Agreed. The latest evidence came Monday when the Financial Stability Oversight Council released a 120-page report outlining crypto's risks. The FSOC, established after the 2008-2009 financial crisis, always a good time to put more regulation on when there's a crisis created by regulation, in my opinion. Is comprised of the heads of the Treasury Department, the Securities Exchange Commission, Commodity Futures Trading Commission, and other agencies. On Crypto Tuesday here, we've often talked about the struggle between these agencies, the Securities and Exchange Commission and the Commodities Future Trading Commission in particular, about the regulation of crypto, that they're both vying to be the top dog in the regulation game for crypto. The council is tasked with identifying emerging threats to the financial system. But more important for crypto, the Biden White House earlier this year directed it to turn its gaze toward the industry and make concrete recommendations on how to treat it. The report that resulted is the clearest sign yet that the crypto industry is going to face increased scrutiny from regulators. It's something that we've been talking about on this show for a long, long time. The evidence has been mounting for some time, even as it has won over lawmakers who see a lighter touch as important to ensuring crypto companies create jobs in the U.S. We also pointed out on this show about how much crypto was giving in donations and contributions to politicians, state and federal. And so they're trying to offset that regulatory arm by kind of greasing greasing on the other side, right? Trying to get the politicians to back off while the regulators are taking a very hard line. For example, FSOC's report asserts that far from being a market driven by potential real-world use cases, crypto appears to be primarily driven by speculation. The report says that crypto firms lack basic risk controls and have risky business profiles and opaque capital and liquidity positions. FSOC says the regulatory path that many crypto firms have taken, registering with states as money services business, is inadequate, and that some firms seem to be engaging in regulatory arbitrage. Well, if they mean that they're trying to find the right a regulatory body that would be more conducive to the way they want to run their business, I think that's true. And that is putting aside crypto's use in criminal activity. Because dollars aren't used in criminal activity. Of course they are. On Tuesday, the crypto risk management firm Elliptic released a report that said some $4 billion in illicit proceeds from crypto have been laundered through decentralized finance exchanges and other services. They said that many of the services seem tailor-made for criminal audience. The FSOC report is hardly friendly, wrote Cohen policy analyst in a note. FSOC sees financial stability risk from crypto. It believes there needs to be more robust regulatory response across the board. Again, I don't need the report to tell me this. This is what they've been pushing for a long, long time. It's been evident. The report says that much of the crypto's issues are already addressed by existing law, and calls on agencies like the SEC and the CFTC, again, they're vying for control, to continue bringing enforcement actions against rule breakers. But it also says Congress ought to address the few places there are regulatory gaps, such as by designating a regulatory for crypto spot markets, which doesn't currently have one, and passing legislation to regulate stablecoins. Such legislative efforts are already in the works. The Senate Agricultural Committee is considering a bill that would put most of the crypto spot market under the purview of the CFTC, the commodities. Of course, the Agriculture Committee would look at that because that's what they control, while leaving tokens that are deemed securities under the SEC's oversight. The House Financial Services Committee is working on a bill that would address stablecoins, which have a value pegged to the dollar. Neither bill likely has enough time to pass this year, but since both efforts are bipartisan, they have a high chance of being taken up next year, no matter what party controls Congress. FSOC has more tools in its back pocket that it hasn't used. For example, the council could have deemed a digital asset firm or activity a systematic risk, giving the Federal Reserve the ability to regulate it. For now, however, the crypto market and the total value of less than $1 trillion is relatively small and has few entanglements with the traditional finance system. Even as crypto market was in turmoil over the summer, banks and broader market hardly skipped a beat. But the FSOC's emphasis on continued crypto enforcement, already a primary complaint of crypto firms like Coinbase, Global, and trade associations, is another thorn in the side of the industry. This is the last thing that industry stakeholders, frustrated by regulation by enforcement, will want to see, said Tuesday report note by Washington, D.C. based Beacon Policy Advisors. Well, again, That's the more, I think, realistic look. And I wanted to point this out. Aaron Judge just hit the 60-second home run, breaking Roger Maris's record. Pretty amazing. It is. I got that right before I went on today. So pretty amazing. This is, again, this is CNBC, so they're much more government friendly. I'm not going to read those, but the Treasury Department warned Monday that unregulated cryptocurrencies could pose a risk to the U.S. financial services. They just said it was less than 1% of the financial services, and it's going to cause a risk, really a danger. The warning was part of the first major public report released by the Treasury's Financial Stability Oversight Council on digital assets. The council identified digital or crypto assets such as stablecoins as well as lending or borrowing on the industry's trading platforms as an important emerging vulnerability. The report concludes that crypto asset activities could pose risk to the stability of the U.S. financial system and emphasizes the importance of appropriate regulation, including enforcement of existing laws, Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen said. It is vital that the government stakeholders collectively work to make progress on these recommendations. The council first designated digital assets a priority area in February. Global crypto asset market capitalization reached its peak of roughly $3 trillion last November, comprising approximately 1% of global financial assets, according to the report. I believe it's down to a trillion now from 3 trillion, so a third of what it was. Though the impact is relatively small in the larger global financial system, digital financing is quickly gaining in popularity and is being manipulated by criminals for illegal gain, according to the report. Earlier this year, the Treasury Department issued a series of sanctions against Russian oligarchs, certain Russian banks, and other organizations for using crypto assets to evade sanctions. Unbelievable. In September, the agency blocked all property and possession of control of U.S. persons for 22 individuals and 2 entities that helped digitally finance Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Stablecoins, a type of currency popular on the foreign exchange market, are also overwhelmingly used in speculative crypto asset trading. The director of Consumer Financial Protection Bureau said during a Monday FSOC meeting, created for price stability, the price of the stablecoin is linked to flat currencies. I think they mean fiat currencies, commodities, and other crypto assets. The group recommended legislation that empowers financial regulators to more vigorously oversee the industry, as well as expanding bank exams to require federal and state agencies to look at services provided by crypto asset service companies. Formed after 2008 and 2009 financial crisis, FSOC identifies emerging threats to the country's financial security and organizes a coordinated response across U.S. financial regulators. Under the Dodd-Frank Act, the FSOC is authorized to supervise and regulate non-bank financial companies, financial market utilities, and payment, clearing, or settlement activities to address possible vulnerabilities to financial stability. The report states, to date, the FSOC has not used this authority to regulate the cryptocurrency market. Well, I think that's what they're trying to do now. This is the website for the Department of Treasury and the FSOC, what it is, how it works, and so I include that in the list in the notes. You'll see a link to these things. So that's what it. Again, they are taking action. There's going to be more and more regulation, even though, again, I think that the cap is a third of what it used to be. Doesn't mean it won't grow again. I think that's what their fear is, and before it gets away from them being regulators, they're going to rein it in. I think they'd like to crush it right here and stop this activity in total, except for stablecoins. And the United States dollar is going to go, according to Biden, who just signed an executive order, is going to go digital, and they hope to then ban the competition, right? Kind of comes down to that, doesn't it? So anyway, that's where it is, and so I think it's an interesting take on this agency that many of us never even heard of. I'd like to, I was looking at the report and all assigned to the Treasury, as they said, the Federal Reserve, the SEC, the Consumer Financial Protection, all of them, all of the government agencies who do such a great job regulating our financial markets to avoid problems like inflation. They've done a great job about that, and now are in control of this. So anyway, that's where I am on it. So thanks so much for joining us. Remember, I ask you to like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. We need your help. So please like and subscribe. I'm going to ask you also if you have IRS problems, if you owe the IRS money, or if you have unfiled returns, the first thing you should do is go to freeirsbook.com, freeirsbook.com. Get a copy of my book, Deal with Your IRS Problem Today. I do give away the book for free. I will ask for a small shipping and handling fee, and you can do that at, again, freeirsbook.com. So thanks so much for joining us here today. We'll be back here tomorrow to talk about the IRS and other tax matters, and I hope you can join us then. Until then, out.